If you were to tell me that Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special was going to be one of the most heartfelt and sentimental things that almost brought me to tears that I'd watch all year, I probably would have believed you because it's James Gunn. And we're going to talk about that here on Podio Commentary. Hey, my name is Matt Jarbo. Welcome back to Podio Commentary. And of course, we are now in the holiday season, so we're getting all of the holiday movies. And I'm not the biggest Christmas fan. I've openly advocated for the ending of Christmas. Multiple reasons, right? Get rid of Thanksgiving, get rid of Christmas, make it all Halloween from September to New Year's, call it a day. Believe me, the more you think about it, the more you know I'm right. But, I gotta say, as much as I am a cynic, as much as I am a pessimist, I do like a good Christmas story. I do like it. And so when they had announced that they were doing a Marvel special presentation, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, directed by James Gunn, starring the cast of Guardians, this would be a Drax and Mantis focused show. I was excited to see what was going to happen with this because I felt that the two of them were great in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which, was like 5 years ago. And we're not going to see more of these characters until next May when Guardians 3 comes out, which is going to end this particular run with a lot of these actors, especially with James Gunn moving over to DC. But I gotta say, I really liked what they did with it. Was it perfect? No. But what it did great, and James Gunn nailed the approach. So the thing you have to remember about this is this takes place after the events of Endgame, probably after the events of Thor, right? Now the Guardians have purchased Nowhere, the celestial being's head, and they are trying to fix it up. And while, the effects look pretty good for the most part, I did like this was shot a little differently. It felt like it felt like it was kind of shot for TV. So while there was a lot of great visual effects, the costuming did look a little bit off. The sets did look a little bit off. But at the same time, as long as you're not really paying a lot of attention to that, you're not going to be really worried by it. You know what I mean? Like those are just the little things that I noticed, but it didn't take away from the overall story. Peter Quill, man, he's had a rough ride, right? He's had a rough ride. Here it is, a couple years past the events of Endgame. His darling Gamora is gone. He's just kind of listless. He's doing things with the Guardians. They have purpose, but he's still missing a big part of his heart. And we get through this great little animated sequence in the beginning. Rotoscope, it felt like, and which I thought was totally classic Gunn, to be fair. We get the story of how Peter tried to introduce Kraglin to Christmas when they were kids, and how Yondu didn't care for Christmas and tried to snuff it out. And because of that, Kraglin tells this to Drax and Mantis, and they want to go give, Peter the best Christmas gift of all, because Mantis has this thing she wants to tell him. We don't quite know what it is yet. Although if you watch the Marvel Legends about Mantis and Drax that came out before the holiday special, you knew where this was going. And of course, that made its way through social media. So all of that was spoiled for me before I even sat down to watch it. But I'm going to tell you this right now, it didn't freaking matter. It was still really, really good. So they decide to go to Earth to give him the best Christmas present possible, and that is Kevin Bacon. And I'm glad they finally brought Kevin Bacon into the MCU. I was hopeful back after I saw Guardians in 2014 that Kevin Bacon was going to be playing Ego. I thought they would have done that. I thought that would have been funnier if they would have had Kevin Bacon play Ego, but Kurt Russell knocked it out of the park. And here, Kevin Bacon plays a great bit of fun. He pokes fun at himself, allows himself to be mocked a little bit, and just has a good old time with it. And that's this. Well, also, if you don't know, Kevin Bacon and James Gunn are friends. They did the movie Super together. So this is just Gunn going back to his well of trusted actors that aren't a-holes that he likes, bringing them into the mix. And here it really played into the concept of everything that, that like kind of built up Peter. And what I love about that was like, there's a scene towards the end. I'm kind of skipping over a lot, but this is my overall review, where Kraglin is talking with Kevin Bacon about Footloose. Now, if you know anything about Kevin Bacon lore, you know that it's often said that Kevin Bacon, whenever he goes to weddings, will pay the DJ to not play Footloose because he just doesn't want to deal with it. But here they bring it up Kraglin, says like Peter always told them the story of how Kevin Bacon saved a town through dancing. And he's like, well, that was a movie, right? That was a movie. And then Kraglin's like, yeah, but Peter literally saved the universe through dancing, because Kevin Bacon who inspired him. And I thought that was like, I thought that was great. I thought that was great because one of the things that I don't think actors or creatives oftentimes understand to the full extent really is how much their work will inspire other people, and what the things that they have done or that they've said, what they showcase out there through their creativity will have meaningful impact on those lives. And that can actually have a ripple effect. And that's basically what that story was all about. But then Kevin Bacon gets a, he gets a change of heart. He wants to like help out, go from there. And he ends up like, singing a song with the band at Nowhere about Christmas and everything else. And it's a nice, great little moment where everyone comes together. We get to see Cosmo, voiced by Maria Bakalova from Borat 2, which people out there are upset at the gender change. Who fucking cares? All right. Like, she was great in Borat 2. She's going to be good in Guardians 3. Just let this, who cares? We got more Rocket. We got Swole Groot, which I thought was a little bit weird on the visual effects wise, just because like it just looked different. But James Gunn was actually on Twitter today talking about like Swole Groot being a totally different Groot than what we saw in 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy. And, so it's going to be his progeny. It's just a different kid. And then you've got, Nebula giving Bucky's arm to Rocket. And again, that angered some people. And James Gunn's like, whoopsie daisy. Oops, now it's canon. Sorry, guys. Bye. Which I thought was really good. Just kind of being playful with the whole thing. But really, the emotional resonance of the scene with Mantis and Peter talking about what she wanted to tell him and what it was to him, what it meant for him, was very much in line with what happened at the end of Guardians Volume 2. And I'm going to spoil it. It's been a long time. But at the end of Guardians Volume 2, when, Yondu is getting ready to sacrifice himself, he goes, "I may not have been your father, but I was your daddy." Right. And it was an homage to stepdads everywhere. James Gunn was very open about this back in 2017. It was an homage to stepdads everywhere. And I thought that was really sweet. And here, you find out that like, where that came from a little bit, right? How Yondu and Peter bonded over Christmas, even though Kraglin had this different idea of it. But still, Peter just wants family. He lost family with Yondu dying. He lost family with Gamora dying and then the new Gamora leaving. And now he still has his family, but he's missing elements of it. And here he finds out it was never all the way gone. In fact, it's now more important than ever. And that, my friends, is the emotional importance of the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special and why it's so good. So just to kind of finish this whole thing out, let me just say that, look, if you are worried about how James Gunn is going to tackle some of the characters over at DC, watch this and then all your fears should be laid to rest. But anyway, what do you think? Good, bad, in between? Let me know your favorite part. I'll talk to you guys all later. Have yourself a great day and peace out.